All right.
Alrighty, hi and welcome to Facebook Live and Instagram Live. The sisters are in. I'm Marnie Nir, expert coach at Handel Group, and this is my sister Lauren Zander, co-founder and chairwoman of Handel Group. Welcome. Thank you for sending in your questions, and a bunch of you actually did. Yay! We like that, obviously. If you sent in your question and if I ask Lauren it today, you will get $50 off of a private coaching session. So be on lookout for that email from us. Okay, Lauren, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay, today's topic, she doesn't know it, is lying.
Cool.
Cool, we do like this
I
topic.
love lying.
And you do it. So let's do this. All right, first question. Sometimes I don't realize I'm lying to myself until much later. How do I shorten that?
So, the thing that everyone needs to become an expert at is hearing their inner dialogue. Most people don't hear their inner dialogue. They are their inner dialogue unheard, right? Like what? What inner dialogue? Write down what I thought? Write down what I said to myself? What did I say? I just do lists in my head. What do you mean? Right? Like you don't hear your, look at that idiot, and did you smell that? Or what do you think of that? Or why did my mother do that to me today? Or like there is a constant barraging of conversations that are going on in your head that you're either connected to fully or not. First thing we do with getting a person present is to get them to stop at least 3 times a day and write down if they'll even tell on their inner dialogue, right? And when I start to coach someone, I tell the grossest, funniest, constant commentaries that are going on in my head that create my mood, right? My ability to style people. And trust me, you don't want to be in front of me when I'm styling you. Right? Like what I will say about your ass, your this, your shirt, who's dating it. Like my ability to be such what I call unconscious is horrifying. And I don't like, and then the minute I can hear it, I'm like, am I that voice? And the answer is no, I can stop that voice. I'm not that voice. Where is that voice from? And I'm like, oh, it's my mommy, right? And I'm like, it's everybody's mom. Like, oh, I get the joke. I can laugh at myself. If I hear the voice, I could stop the voice. I'm not the voice. What am I? And then I go, oh, what am I? Oh, I could be anything I want. I could say what I want to say, right? Do I want to style people at all? I can make a promise and put in a consequence and tell on myself. Right? You're like, Lauren, do you still need to manage not styling people? Wink, wink, being mean and vicious, physically speaking. Yes. Right? Is it really easy for you now that you've been doing it for over 20 years? Bah, ha, ha. I know, like I laugh, I'm like looking for them so I can tell on myself, so I can make someone else laugh so they can hear their own inner dialogue. I'm really not doing it anymore. So, what does this have to do with lying? If you can't hear your own inner dialogue, you can't hear how you want to lie, right? If you know who you lie to or why you lie, one of the 7 ways we lie, if you know your brand of lying, you can then combine with, once you can hear your own inner dialogue, you can then know that I'm very susceptible, on purpose, to lying to my mother, to lying to my husband, to lying about sex, to lying about what I ate today, to lying about what? What do you lie about? To yourself. Okay? So you have to hear your inner dialogue, and then you have to figure out your brand of lying. Then you have to get a sense of humor about starting to catch it. And then you can make a promise with a consequence to not do it, right? You're like, Lauren, do you still lie about anything? And I'm like, bah. Right? Like, boy, do I want to sneak. I want to sneak. I'm still a sneak with tobacco. You know it. I'm like out to get a loophole. How am I going to figure out a loophole? And like, not even maybe. Marnie, that was a laugh of recognition.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm such a sneak. That's awesome. I'm waiting to sneak. Everybody knows my types of sneak, but I still come up with new ones. Okay, great. I will stay up too late. I need a bedtime. I need like, oh, it's fine. I don't have to be up till this. Like I can fucking lie to myself and break promises. The only way I'm not going to start managing that. Oh, here's another one. I will still start if I think I'm going to be late to anything. I will start to manufacture the reason. Like, I will never actually lie to a person, ever, about, like, I'm late, I didn't leave my house on time. Like, I will actually tell the truth and tell on myself. But you're like, what did your head say? It was starting to wonder where Daisy was, my kid, so I could say that she needed me before, like, right? So I have a sense of humor that my mind is always trying to do its same old shit or shtick. Okay, everybody?
Awesome. Do I have anything to add? I think, and you probably could tell by what Lauren said, but like the reason I think, right, your head is so busy, and it gets particularly, at least mine does, when you're about to lie or have just lied, your head noise, so once you separate it and you can actually hear it separate from you, gets louder, I think, in moments when you lie or about to lie, got your feelings hurt and don't want to tell the person, is when my head gets busier. Right, so if I get off the phone with my mother, same shallow one, right, and I'm still talking to her, I know, right, like, so all of a sudden, I'm not talking out loud to her, I'm talking in here to her, that I just didn't say something actually to her. So I use my head noise, now that I separated myself from it occasionally, right, to show me what something just happened. Like, why is it out, right? The minute my alarm goes off in the morning and my head starts talking, it's because it thinks I should push snooze, right? So if you could separate it, you could actually use it for better than it's doing right now, right? So that's the key of how do you catch yourself before it happens or shortly thereafter is start to hear it and know that it actually got louder for a reason.
The rule we put in for what Marnie's talking about is the 3 mumble rule. If you're still mumbling to yourself about something, there's probably a lie there or something you're hiding or something you haven't dealt with, right? So if you're still talking to yourself about it, you're probably lying about something.
Yes, so if you can't just tell those squawkers in there to shut up, right, and it goes and it goes and it goes, then the promise is after 3 grumbles, you've got to out it. You got to go tell the person. It ends it. That's how you know to trust yourself, because you've got 3 shots to tell your head to shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Period. Okay, and assume, this one of sometimes I don't realize, just assume you're lying. Like, if all of a sudden you're talking and I wonder, and sometimes I don't realize I'm lying, just assume and look for what didn't I say. It's really a good question we should all always ask ourselves.
Yeah.
Especially if you hear yourself talking
and then
questioning.
I think the other thing everyone needs to really, like, for God's sakes, get a sense of humor about it. We're all lying. You're like, does that mean my husband lies? Children. Boss. Bus driver, taxi driver, right? Like, stop being so arrogant about it being wrong with yourself and others. It will not help. What you're ashamed of or think is shameful is literally how you don't ever face it or get a sense of humor about it or go, like, you're not ashamed that you fart. Are you? Maybe you are, right? But you fart. I fart. We fart, right? Right? If you really have a connection with someone, it's like, I farted. Right? You're like, I can smell it. And we both, guess what you do when you both farted? You laugh. You're not in trouble. It's funny. Humans, we lie. It's a lot like a fart. Okay? It could be way more dangerous, like a shit on the floor. Right? Right? But we're cleaning it up, like, I'm leaving this metaphor. But nonetheless, it's like, to get the humor that we're all doing it will help you out yours and out theirs without humiliating the person for doing it ever, right? It's so unsafe to talk about lies, but lies are really, really happening. Even science says there's 11 a day by each human being.
It's true. I guess we should define what we think lying is, because I think people stand on such high moral ground because you think it's like an out and out, there's only that sort of lie, versus what Lauren's talking about in the variations of it, because most of us really don't want to sit there and think omission is a lie. And then if you really got omission, is a lie. You get we do it all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah, this one, when you're upset about something, when you don't know you haven't said something, when you haven't done something you wanted to do, when you literally, like, you promised something, you didn't do it, right? Like, there are so, like, what we should do, but let's answer questions, and then we'll see if we do the 7.
Okay.
I think we should just stick to the questions, because I think they're fun, and then we can
All right, cool.
keep it. Let's see what happens.
All right, we might just cover them. Okay, so
Yes.
that one was omission, probably.
Okay.
How do I stop lying to myself about how much I eat and stop telling myself that tomorrow I will start the diet over?
Okay. Again, first of all, just get that you're never getting out of being that person. I'm the person that needs rules around food and the amount of food. I actually do. Just so you know, I can eat like a pig. Okay. How I've handled my ability to eat like a pig is, I can have 9 cucumbers. Okay. Oh yeah, I can keep going. Right? And I like it with hot sauce. If I want to just munch and munch and munch and munch and munch and munch and munch because I like to eat, I make sure I eat things that turn into water and are very good for me. Do you understand? So your issue is not how much you'd like to eat, it's what you're eating and rules around what you're eating. Okay? So you got to lose the sugar and the carbs, the flour. So first you have to put yourself on a diet and you have to make a public promise. Like, you have to have a buddy or a coach. If you're already always susceptible, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. Welcome to society. It does not, I can help anyone lose weight because they have to literally tell me what they ate every day. And I have to literally manage them to change and say what they're allowed to eat in abundance. And what you're allowed to, the people, once they get into maintenance with their food, do you understand they get 3 bites of sugar, 3 bites of crap a day? I've negotiated 3 to 5, depending on how much exercise, a day. And they're thrilled once they're down to the weight they love. They get bites, right? They can even eat their kids' McNugget, right? So there's a way to have integrity with how you lie. But first you have to put in the rules, right? And you have to really deal with yourself. And you have to figure out if you're an addict. Depends, right? An addict can't control it and needs a program and needs that level of support. You need to find out if a buddy plus a promise and a plan and reporting in every day can work, plus a consequence. You know how we feel about promises and consequence. What's a consequence? Screen time, cleaning instead. For every bite you have, you owe what? 15 minutes of cleaning, right? Trust me. You will stop if someone else knows about it, especially if you're cleaning their house. Ew! Right? Right? You have to make a good consequence. You have to you're really committed to this, and you have to make promises with someone else and really take this thing on, or you will always be lying to yourself. And then humans, what we teach how to human better is the way a human seems to try to absolve themselves is by feeling terrible. Self-loathing is an act of one day I'll be better. How's that working? Right? So either get fat and be happy, or get some promises and someone managing them. But the suffering part is so 20th century. Okay, so let's get out of there. Okay.
It's true, right? And the key also with what Lauren said is when you find a buddy, right, it can be the best friend that has the same issues. Don't do it, right? Or one that's got a similar issue, but you both suck at keeping it and absolve each other, or both have pity parties together and feel really bad and wish you were different, right? Versus someone that will really hold you to account and pay your consequence. So that's why, Lauren has people send hers it because she's going to hold them to it, right? So it's pick your person perfectly. It's usually not a spouse. It's not someone that you could be mean to when they actually hold it, right? So that's really
Kids work great because you're horrified if you break your promise with your kids, like you're teaching them to keep promises. And then if you go, mommy's not allowed to eat anything on this list, mommy's not allowed to do anything over here, I'll pay you $1 for every bite I take. Trust me, it ain't the money, it's the kid bugging you and you teaching them that you're a liar. Right? You say something, you don't do it. You say something, you don't do it. Make it public to your kid guess he'll keep their promises. Works for me every time. I don't even have to, that's like my low hanging fruit for managing. I'm like, let's get your kids involved.
It's really true. They'll like happily watch you at the restaurant, like hungrily waiting for you to cheat. So it'll have you in the right battle, for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, and it teaches them the right lesson, which is it's okay that you have problems and it's okay you need to develop yourself and make promises and learn how to have integrity and pay the dollar when you don't, right? And say, you know, I'm really like, thank you for taking the money. I'm gonna up it up to $2 now for everybody, like rather than quit, right? It teaches that you're not humaning so much better than they are. You're in it too, which is a really good thing to show your children.
For sure. And do it more than $1, because you know sometimes that donut is like, here's 5. So just careful of how sneaky we could all be. So make it so it hurts, okay? So you keep it.
You don't want to be buying your children new clothes they don't need.
All right, cool.
$20, right?
Just enough so it has you think about it. And then also the key about going public and letting everyone know, or when you sit down at a restaurant and make that announcement right then and there of don't let me touch anything. I have a promise that I owe you all $1 for every bite I take. It'll change the meal. Okay, and that you'll inspire other people to do the same, I swear. Mm-hmm. All right, next question. How can you know for sure when someone is hiding something or if their words are not sincere?
How do you know for sure? You can't. I'm sorry. I cannot help you sniff a liar. I have missed so many liars, no matter how, and I'm getting like insanely good at it, and I do it for a living. And you're like, Lauren, are you clairvoyant? No. But I'll tell you what does happen when someone's lying to you. Right? One of the really funky rules is you're getting treated how you should. So you're getting treated. So if they're being mean to you, they're very short with you, they're defensive with you, right? Like someone is being like really weird with you, right? They're laying on you what you should see in them. Huh? Right? Like for real. Right? So if someone's treating you shittily, they look depressed, they're snappy, rather than going, what did I do wrong? What's up with me? You're like, oh, what's up with you? Right? I didn't do anything. I know I'm clean. You must be out of integrity. You must be lying about something. You're treating me like I should treat you. Oh, so this is like a very obvious example that will do not take this as the law, but take this as like a way to explain the law. Someone who's insanely jealous is likely cheating. But they seem like they're totally worried about me cheating. And I'm like, where'd they get the logic from? Cookie, are you a cheater? You're like, I've never done it. And I'm like, right? They're laying on you what you should see about them, and they don't even know they're doing it. Boom. That's how you know. You start to see how they think or see or act, and you're like, what's up with them? Why are they thinking that way? Why are they seeing things that way? Why are they talking to me that way? Why is that their perception? Their perception explains them, even though they're telling you their perception is about you. No, it's transference. You're seeing out your own eyes. It's your own measuring system. It's your own logic. It's your own thinking. Let me hear what I think you're thinking, and then I'll know a lot more about you. I know I'm thinking, I think you should be skinnier. I think you should be this. I have lots of thinking that would fix you, right? And I know I'm crazy, but I'm not, right? So something fishy, okay? So that would be a very interesting way to get a little shorthand of what I teach as a coach from the coach's point of view. Did that answer that question?
I think it did. What else would I add to it?
It's a deep question.
It is. What else?
But first, don't think you know the answer. That you can't tell.
I guess, there's a couple. Back to like the first point of we're all liars, like welcome to the species. So if you're on a higher stance of they're lying, right, they're never coming clean, right? And it's really hard to sniff one if you don't get, you lie. right? So a lot of the times you'll be happy to find out, maybe, right, that they have lies if you start outing yours, right? So if you get freer about shit you haven't said, you might be able to smell theirs better, or they might even come clean the freer you get about it and aren't in positional about liars. So I'd like recommend that one, right? And have fun with it. Like just the other day, I was so suspicious of my teen daughter, but it really was only because it's something I would have done, right? So I like gave her $5 to like give it to the car wash guy to make sure she gives him a tip, and I was like, don't keep it, right? And it's just because I can be that sleep. I used
Where'd
to
she get the notion from?
Right, and I had to go like, oh, right. It's just Sophie. It's just because I would have kept my dad's 5.
Honey, I would still call and say she kept the 5.
Right.
Because that's how sneaky my family is.
Right. It's like, oh, right. So we're all there, right?
Maybe she gave him $1 and took 4.
Maybe, right? She pocketed it. Like I would have pocketed it. So it's like, oh, honey, right? And I was like, oh, I should just give her the whatever. I can call them. I had all those thoughts, but it's just because I'm
No, take
human.
a picture. If you come home, here,
Take a picture
of you handing it to him, right? And if when you get home and you show me a picture, I'll give you $1.
So there's like assuming, like just welcome yourself to the species and start playing with it, and it'll be much more fun to out liars and out your own as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All righty.
These are deep and difficult.
They are, and like
fun.
When you send questions, which keep on doing, like if you feel free to make them longer and give us the story, so we're not. I mean, we're just kind of going with what we think you're asking. But if you've got a specific, really, I promise I won't say your name ever. Okay. All right. What's the deal about the infamous white lie?
Social grease is the best way to call. Social grease is oh my God, you look fabulous. Did you lose weight? Like, did you have any, like, come on, think of how many people have say that as social grease, right? You look, and it doesn't even mean they're lying. They just, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But there are isms that are natural personality grease, you could say, lube for socialization, right? Where, oh my God, you smell delicious. Oh my God, right? And you're like, I haven't showered in 2 fucking days. How do I smell good? Right? Like, oh, it's one of their social greases, right? So a lot, oh my God, I had the best time at the party. I still remember what you were wearing, right? It's like, you'd be amazed that white lies are to make other people feel good about themselves and make you feel good that you're making other people feel good. And it's allowed to be a book of bullshit, right? And you learned it from your parents, and you learned it from school, and you learned it from, hi, good morning, everybody. It's so good to see you. Really? You wouldn't rather be home? You wouldn't rather be, Saturday? Like, we've been trained, another good word at this moment is domesticated, to be sweet, charming, flowery, offer compliments, whether we believe them or not. So social grease is white lies. Okay, now if you want to go a little dirtier and you want to go, oh my God, the traffic was terrible. Right, it's Manhattan. It's always terrible. It's LA. It's always terrible. Like what? That's like, it was extra bad, right?
Trump's in town.
Right, like okay? And really you just didn't leave on time, right? And so there really are the way you calculatedly get away with using a white lie. You didn't get my email? Right? I know I didn't send it. I know I don't think I sent it. I know, but I don't go, fuck, I forgot to send it. Sorry, I'll send it when I get home. I go, oh, you didn't get my email. Shit, I thought I sent it. White lie. Okay? So we white lie to make ourselves and others feel better about themselves. And since we're all doing it under social grease, we all get away with it. And it all is like, like like a shower, but you didn't shower, right? Like it's like, you know, like wiped under the arms, right? It's like, is that really cleaning yourself? Is that really honest? Is that really that bad? Right? So it lives in this vague, it's not so bad, it's nice, I didn't really not mean it, right? Like, who cares? I didn't say I sent the email and did. I didn't lie. I white lied. I'm like, oh, you didn't get it? I thought I sent it. Okay? What do you got?
You know, I think, so socially acceptable, yes. I think the problem with them, right, is like the buildup of them is that you're just, if who you are is often socially full of shit, right, it's hard to trust what anyone else is ever saying. So for me, I could definitely, we call it snice also. Such a crime of mine. Lucky for me and all of you, when my voice goes up, you know I'm lying, right? It's just like, oh, sure they can come. I'm full of shit. It's not okay with me and I don't want to just say it. So there's a buildup of that. But then if all of a sudden I do it and I'm allowed to go do it and tell everyone they look great, then if anyone tells me I look great, I don't fucking believe it, right? It just goes right through. So there's a price to it of not being that sort of trustworthy person that when you say, wow, you look great, and you don't mean it, you're never getting those back. You're never going to believe what anyone else is saying. So it behooves you to cut it out. It really does. It is lying, and it will have you never trust a compliment or any of those fun things.
True.
Right.
True. What
So
she said.
So white lies.
White lies, they build up. There's
nice.
a buildup, and then it also keeps you to a type of personality where you're stuck as yourself. Any which way you're lying, deep ones, like, so let's just hit the review of what lies are. Let's let's actually do
Okay,
this.
we're going along. Alice is trying to get us
Okay,
off,
we're trying to get off, but we're going to do this, okay? So there's white lies, right, which is social grease. Oh, was I late? Oh, I'm so sorry, right? Like bullshit of that kind, but very light and fluffy, right? And then there's omission. It's none of your business. I don't owe telling you that. How's your day? And it could be small. How's your day? Great. Worst day of my life. I think I caught my husband cheating, right? Great, right? So there's real lies, omission. There's misrepresentation. I love that book. 4 pages. I read 4 pages, right? I do love it, but you now think I read the whole fucking thing.
Yes, I do.
Okay? Exaggerations. That was the best party. Oh my God, I got such a good bonus. Oh, I don't want to tell you the number, but I got such a good bonus. Right? Under exaggeration. Oh, yes. Oh, it was no big deal. There was an event for me. Yeah. No, it was, you know how these things are. Everybody, they're just trying to get my money. You were who of the year? Right? Like, what? No, you didn't have to buy a table, did you? Right. Hey. Right? So under exaggerating. What am I? Outright lies. I went to the movies. I was the only one invited. I couldn't bring you. Yeah, you could. You even talked about it. Right? Big lie. Right? We have going to the grave. We put going to the grave with things like my abortion when I was 19, right? Like that thing that hurts you, but you don't think it's hurting anybody else, but you're going to the grave with it. But that's not true. It's a lie that you're carrying with you. Did I miss any? I think that might have been all of them.
I think that's it.
Okay. So all of those are ways for you to start to face, you don't tell the truth in your head or with others, and then it keeps you stuck. And no sense of humor, right? So
Yeah.
it's actually fun to know you're a liar and to know everybody else is a liar. I dare you to talk about the way you lie with anyone in your life and really start to loosen up about how we're all a bunch of cute little liars.
It's true. All right, Alice, we're going to end now. All right, so thank you all. That was great. Thank you for sending in your questions. Please keep them coming. Let's see what else you should know. In the comments for Which one? In the comments for Facebook Live and in the bio for Instagram Live, you're going to have an opportunity. If you want to find out more about coaching and speak to a human, there is a consult button there for you to go find out more about that. And you can also go find out about Inner You, our digital coaching course that is coming out, and you can get in and $50 off if you get in before April 22nd. And there's lots of prizes if you get in before also. One of them is a live call, welcoming call for all the early bird specialers with Lauren herself. So check that out. It's an awesome course. Find out everything you need, and we'll see you next time.